Hello guys, it's me Mr. Frederick the Math Guy. I'm here to show you a treat today. The treat today that we have is thank you for all of those that have been subscribing. Thank you for all those that's been supporting me. Thank you for all those who wrote a comment down. I feel for y'all. I thank you, and it's well much appreciated. Okay, and today I'm gonna go back to the math that we're talking about. And today we're going to talk about scientific notation that they use in 8th grade. Now, scientific notation basically is this one. Mathematicians, scientists, and engineers use scientific notation to convert very super big numbers and super small numbers into a smaller, easier to read notation, so that they don't have to write down all the zeros for a very big number or for a very small number. You know, instead of, like, example, if you get a number that's like 28 trillion, you know, you have to write that each time. It's going to be overwhelming to write that down all the time. But by writing it in a scientific notation form, it's simple to write, it's easy to read, and you understand what it means. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple problems that I saw here, and I'm going to show you step by step how to convert these numbers into scientific notation form for part 1. In part 2, I will show you how to redo the reverse and how to do small numbers. But today we're going to focus on big numbers. Okay, let's dig in. So today I'm going to start with the basics. 38. Now 38, it may not be that big right now, but there's a scientific notation format to do that. So what I do is this one. For 38, all the numbers start, if you see it or not, they all have dots in the end. Alright? Representing that it has a 0 in the end of each. Okay? Now, when you want to turn this into scientific notation form, usually I put the decimal right in front, right next to the first digit. So it'll be like this. Okay? So the decimal moved here. So it will look like this. 3.8. And since you moved it one space, you times it by 10. So how many spaces? 1. So 3.8 times 10 to the first power, when you put in your calculator, will give you back 38. Okay? Now, just remember, you move it to the left for positive numbers, big numbers. When we move on to negative notations, you have to do the opposite. Move it to the right to explain that as a negative number, a very small number. Okay? Next one. I'm going to move this close to this 3, right in front of the 3 right here, the first digit. I choose that because it's easier to write down in scientific notation form instead of just saying 0.38. There'll be other problems like that, but I'm here to make it simple and to keep math simple. Okay? 1, 2, decimal here. How would I read? 3.8, 1. You write down the whole number. If there's another number there, write that number down. If it's a 0, you don't need to write it down. Times how many spaces? 1, 2. So I put 2, 10 times 10 to the second power. Okay? The same here. 1, 2, 3. So here is 3.81 times 10 to the third power, since I moved it 3 spaces. Alright? Now the same for here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I put 3.81 times 10 to the 4th power. So when you multiply these numbers in your calculator, it will give you back these numbers back. Okay? So first step you have to understand is you move the decimal place all the way to the first number. Right? Then you write down how much numbers you have. 3.81. When there's a readable numbers that's not 0, put them all down. Then times it by 10 and put the power of how many spaces that you moved. Okay? And when you do that, this will be your scientific notation for each. Okay. So when you have very big numbers, it's easier to read. It's easier and simpler to read. So let me show you another example of what I'm talking about of a very big number. So say you have a number like this. Say you have 76, 3, boom, like this. Okay? So 763 billion. Okay? So instead of writing this over and over again, it'll take a while. Let's write it in a simpler way. So the decimal will start here, and you move the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what would that write? 7.63 times 10 to how many spaces? 11. A mistake? 11. That will be the scientific notation. When you put this in your calculator, or you do the math again the reverse way, which will be in another video, it will give you back this number. So instead of writing this whole number over and over again, you could write the equivalent in a scientific notation form like this, 7.63 times 10 to 11, and it's simpler to do, and it means the same thing. Okay? That's how you keep math simple. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you was able to learn more from this. If you like this video, please comment below, share it so that others can learn, and together we could keep math simple. Okay? Peace out, and I'll see you in the next video.